Legends, welcome back to another episode of the Ruck Infringement Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Joey, and this is episode 107, In the Bin. Joining me, he's back all the way from Thailand, the international cricket sensation. Mate, pleasure to have you back. How you been?
Yeah, mate, been pretty good. Like you said, just been travelling to Thailand to play some cricket, win the whole thing.
Oh, mate, you've been a bit modest. You didn't just play and just win. You single-handedly did it yourself.
I wouldn't say that in the first 6 games that we played, but the game where it counted in the grand final, I happened to finally step up for once.
Love it.
But yeah, being honoured to be named player of the final.
Yep.
And just having that whole experience of being able to go back to back as well.
I know it's a rugby league show, but tell the listeners and the viewers your figures in the final.
So over there, you only bowl 1 over. I managed to take 3 wickets, just conceding 2 runs.
Bravo. I think there's a clapping button somewhere.
Yeah.
Audience clapping. I'm not sure which one. Don't just press them all. It might give you some weird noise.
It just says boo.
Yeah. Oh, wrong one. That was the Penrith button.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh,
well, well, mate, it's great to have you back. We certainly missed you. Of course, Luke can't be with us again tonight, but he's hoping to make his return next week. The Dongle and the Saint are not with us either tonight, so it's just me and the international cricket sensation. So, look, I don't think there's much more about Thailand we're allowed to know.
Yeah.
The ping pong shows will keep that to off air.
Yeah,
so
that'll stay off air. We might do a behind the scenes soon, but nah.
Harry's going to strip. We don't want to see that, buddy.
No one wants to see that at all. I don't even want to see it.
But if you are listening or watching for the first time, this is a podcast for you and your mates. A podcast for mediocre betting advice, lots of banter, and just an all-round good time. So check us out on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X, and also listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and watch us on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Of course, big shout-out to BTZD for these awesome shirts. You like them, mate?
Yeah.
Look good, don't they?
Comfortable.
Very comfy.
Breathable,
great material.
Everything that you want in a shirt.
Got the Ruck Infringement colours on there.
Yep.
I'll just say it's green and orange, not green and red. We're not representing South Sydney here at all. So it's definitely green and orange.
How ironic would it be, though, if it's green and red?
Very ironic, and you wouldn't see me in it. But no, it's great. But let's get straight into it, mate. Now, of course, the Ruck Report went on last night, so have touched on the games already. We'll quickly go through a little bit of them as we haven't had you here. But, mate, if we jump into Thursday night, great game there. Broncos versus Bulldogs. Now, Bulldogs were undefeated heading into this game. A bit of a danger game for them. The more that they won, the closer they were to losing their first game.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But the Broncos, I thought, no Reece Walsh, no Jordan Ricky, no one really gave them a chance. But 34-0 at halftime, mate, Broncos carved.
I did not expect it at all. I thought it was actually going to be like a very close contest. I didn't think Broncos were going to blow them out of the park, especially in the first half too. It just goes to show, like you said, the Dogs winning just brings that loss so much closer than what they expected.
Yeah.
They also finally played a team in the top 8, which would be a good test for them, and unfortunately they failed it miserably. I was speaking to Shawnee not that long ago, and he's like, the Broncos just showed the blueprint on how to beat the Bulldogs. You play their style of footy. You play the Dogs of War type of footy. They don't like it, then they resort to...
I heard something really interesting today about that. Madge Maguire apparently told the Broncos boys about how Stephen Crichton plays.
Yep.
So, obviously in Origin, Madge being a coach last year, Crichton has one effort play, and then usually after the effort play, he's a bit more tired.
Yeah.
So he said when he makes that effort play in a set, target that side. And you saw the Broncos do that.
Yeah.
If you watch back the game, the Broncos went... He make a massive effort play, whether it be a big tackle or whatever, and then they'd go down that side and score a try. So, Madge has the blueprint. He's a smart guy. But, mate, the Broncos getting the win in it, 42-18. Dogs won the second half, but I don't really care for that. I know people go, oh, they won the second half, but they didn't win the game. Like they still were thoroughly beaten.
Yeah.
Big talking point in this, obviously, Satili Tupanua, Simbin, Josh Curran, Simbin, Matt Burton, Simbin in this game. But we'll talk on the Simbins later because it's an absolute farce at the moment in rugby league. But, mate, we'll jump into Friday games. Anzac Day, Of course, hope everyone had a fantastic Anzac weekend. Of course, however you celebrate or remember our soldiers, we just want to thank all the Anzacs for their contributions as well. But the first game, Roosters versus Dragons, mate, 46-18. Now, I know none of you gave the Roosters much of a chance. I had us by 1, but then doing my preview before the game, I said 13 plus. I just had a feeling that we were going to turn up for Anzac. We always do. Roosters have a pretty good record on Anzac Day against the Dragons. Last year we won 60-18. This time 46-18. So I don't know what that says about the Dragons. They can't score any more than 18 points against us.
They can only score 18 points.
That's it. But mate, obviously your dad, mad Dragons fan, was he disappointed in the performance of his team?
Yes, very, very disappointed. I was out watching the game, and let's just say when I got home that night, it was a very, very, very different side of him that
He was
I've
in bed
seen.
by 6 p.m.
He was like, "Oh, I kind of expected it, but these boys are fucking shit." Like blah blah blah. I was like, "You guys have been riding high for like the last few weeks." And then you come up against the Roosters, who you know that always rock up on Anzac Day.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't knock your team that much,
Yeah.
but I get how he's going. Like, well,
Look, Clint Gufferson, I think he's been really good so far, but had a terrible game. I mean, Blake Steep threw a dummy and got past him.
yeah,
And scored a try. Sandon Smith threw a dummy, got past him. Tedesco got past him. He had a bad night at the back. I mean, it's hard as a fullback at the moment, especially with these sin bins as well, because you don't know if you're allowed to make a tackle.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you make a tackle wrong, you're sin bin. So,
Yep.
it is quite hard being a fullback. But, mate, Sandon Smith had his best game in Roosters colours, 2 tries, won the Ashton Hollier medal as well. Well deserved.
yeah,
Very well deserved. Even got a sin bin in there.
yeah.
Couple of tries as well. And, of course, Captain Teddy.
Yep.
Now, 100th game as Roosters captain, so shout out to Teddy. Hadn't scored a try all year, then gets 2 in this game. So
Make it make sense.
Saved it for the big occasions. Talk a bit on Origin a bit later, mate, but I think he's probably played himself into a jersey at the moment, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I personally don't want him playing, especially this year with how we've started the season. You probably don't want Edwards playing as well with how you boys have started as well. But
pretty much,
mate, let's jump into the second Friday game. It was the Wars against the Knights. Now your Wars, mate. Usually you tip them. Did you tip them in this one?
Yeah, I tipped them.
Great
Finally,
job.
the one time that I didn't tip them, they get the wins. I was like, I'm not making that mistake again.
Oh.
Coming up against the Knights, who have been
woeful.
Yeah, they've been absolute. Like, I wouldn't say dog shit because Panthers have been probably arguably worse than them. Look at the ladder.
I don't know about that.
Look at the ladder, but the Wars turning up after a loss last week, it's good to see, and up the Wars, man.
Mate, New Zealand's becoming a fortress for them.
Yep.
It is very hard to win if you're an opposition team heading over the Dutch at the moment. So, look, very tough. They're in the top 4. The Wars are flying. They had a great game in this. Again, Newcastle, we speak about it every week. I can't go on about it anymore. I don't know if you've been listening, probably haven't, but if you have, we've been talking about Newcastle a little bit over the past couple of episodes, saying how all their attack goes through Ponga, and that's how they've always been. But the problem is that he's not firing at the moment. So all the attacks going to Ponga, he's not doing anything with it, and then no one can work off the back of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a little segment coming up later which involves Newcastle, and we'll go into a bit more depth then. And our last game for Anzac Day, of course, was the Melbourne Storm against the Rabbits. Now, heading into this game, Storm had a 19-0 record against the Bunnies at Amy Park, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Made it 20-0. I thought the Bunnies were actually okay in this. Like, Storm weren't at their best. Like, they only won 24-16. So it wasn't like they set the world alight. Considering the injuries the Bunnies had, I thought Storm would put on more of a performance. They didn't. I think, that game, it is what it is. I mean, Storm did enough to stay in the top 2.
Yeah.
Bunnies did probably what we expected. Latrell probably gone for a couple of weeks, but
Well, I've seen that Latrell, well, we'll talk about it a bit later, but I'm pretty sure he's not getting what everyone is thinking that he's getting.
no,
Suspension-wise.
Yeah, so I think it was 1 with an early guilty plea or 2 if he
contests it and
contests it. So, yeah, look, I think we'll talk on it later. I don't want to get into it now. Mate, let's jump into some Saturday footy. It was the Cows against the Titans. Ruled the Titans out of the comp. Cows winning 50-18 in this one. And Titans started well, but again, they're the same as Newcastle for me. I think there might be a coach under pressure at that club, Desi Hasler, because the Titans are just not firing. With the forward pack that they have,
They should be fighting.
They should be close to winning the comp, mate. I mean, you've got Tino Fasul-Malawi, you've got David Fafita, you've got Mo Fodawaker, all representative forwards as well. Throw Bo Famore into that, who was arguably their best in this game. Very, very good. But the Cowboys, mate, they are absolutely on fire at the moment. Jeremiah Nanai has played himself into an Origin jersey, 2 tries.
100%.
He was absolutely outstanding. Tommy Dearden was really good.
Robert Derby.
Hat trick.
Yeah, hat trick for
218 meters, I believe. So, yeah, look, Derby was good on that wing. He made our team of the week this week as well. But yeah, look, credit to the Cowboys playing well. Jumping into the rest of our Saturday games.
Can we skip this one?
We can't, mate, but it was the Panthers against the Seagulls. Now, Manly getting it done 26-10. Sort of shocked everyone a bit. After your win against my Chooks last week, I think a lot of people felt, okay, Penrith are back here. You know, quite a solid win. I did say I don't think the score told the tale of that game because I thought it was a lot closer. It was the last 20 minutes. Penrith ran away with it against the Chooks. But they looked good. They looked back. They looked like, and then they came out, and it's the CommBank curse. The CommBank curse.
We struggled to play at CommBank.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, whether it's the fan base there, the ground, but the CommBank curse is real. You haven't won at CommBank all year. Even against us, you beat us at Allianz last week, and then the only other win was Allegiant Stadium in
Vegas,
USA. So, yeah, look, the CommBank curse is real. Manly just came to play. I think they were desperate for a win off the back of 3 losses. Credit to them. They play really good. Ruben Garrick, Daly Cherry Evans kicked them into the corners. I wouldn't say Penrith were bad, but they just looked lost.
We were making uncharacteristic errors.
Yeah.
Like Edwards, for one, his sin binning, that's something that's, I'm going to sound like an idiot, but he doesn't normally do that.
No, I agree.
But
even Scott Sorensen,
I don't know how Sorensen's was a bin.
Yeah,
you could literally see the video footage of it.
It was soft. Save it for for the segment because we're gonna go off.
Yeah.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you our sponsors.
Ever worn sunnies but realised you have to take them off on the job site to change into something more safer? Well, now with Stay Fancy Eyewear, you can get some awesome safety glasses that look good and protect you from the harsh rays of the sun. With a variety of styles to choose from, Stay Fancy has all your eyewear needs sorted. Use the code RUCK10 for 10% off today. Stay Fancy Eyewear, protecting you from the nasties on the job site and looking good while doing it.
Thank you once again to our sponsors.
Jumping into some Sunday footy, it was great. We had the Raiders against the Dolphins. Now, this was an incredible game.
Yep.
Raiders winning 40-28, but the Dolphins were up 28-10 at halftime. And then somehow, Sticky Ricky, halftime speech, man, must have been an absolute beauty. He's probably watched Remember the Titans or something in the sheds, but they come out the second half, score 30 points in the second half, unanswered. Dolphins don't get another point. They win 40-28. Incredible.
It's like a similar tale in the Titans-Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Like, Titans were up 18-6 after, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And then Cowboys taking the game 50-18. Like, it's just insane stuff. And it's a pity that Triple H did not hit this week.
Oh, mate, we were close. I was on it too.
Hudson Young just needed to get for a pie, and every other week he scores.
I know, I feel for you because I was going to say that. Every other week he's been scoring tries for fun.
Yeah, and this week he just doesn't want to.
Got a nice little bonus bet back from it, but it was good.
I got you your money back. That's all
exactly. It was the closest you've been in a while, so it was very good.
Closest I've been in the whole time I've done this segment.
Mate, the Raiders looking good at the moment. They're in the top 5, so they're doing really well. Look, the Dolphins had been doing okay. I don't know how they go. I've got a little sneaky prediction in Magic Round, but we'll talk about that soon. Of course, the last game to finish off the round in our quick review was the Tigers against the Sharks. What a game this was.
I reckon game of the round.
Oh, mate, fantastic. Going into Golden Point, extra time, second part of extra time as well.
Yep.
Tigers getting it done 20-18. Look, incredible scenes, but this was the Sharks. Like they should have won this game.
Oh, 100%.
They 4 attempts at field goals and then just dropped too much ball. Gave it away when it mattered. The Tigers getting it done through a penalty goal at the end. Again, a soft call. I don't really know if that was a strip from Hazelton. To me, like I probably could have just played on at that point. I still think Tigers would have snapped the field goal at that point because it was fourth tackle. But yeah, look, it is what it is this week. The crackdown is real and it's going hard. But look, Tigers fans, I mean, the big talk there is Lockie Galvin.
Yep.
They drop him the week before, they lose to Parramatta. I tipped it. I said, if they bring Lockie Galvin in, I'm tipping Tigers. They brought him back in, I tipped him, they win. So, you know, it just shows that what's happening off the field is shouldn't be above football.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And, you know, they had Galvin in the team. They all played well with him. They didn't really care, and they won the game and that's how it should be. Just play football. Play football with who you got. Pick the best players. You don't have to talk to him after.
Yeah.
But play what you got on the field.
Keep the stuff off the field, off it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just, you know, show off your mates, play your game, try and win. That's all that matters.
Exactly right, mate. Well, that's it for our quickfire review of round 8. What a game it was. But what a round it was, sorry. Let's jump into Dynamos and Dungs for round 8, mate. Who are your Dynamos and Dungs for us?
My Dynamo this week, Luke's going to be very happy with this. Terrell May.
Oh, mate.
He had an absolute cracker of a game. He's actually been having a cracker of a season. He's looking to be one of the buyers of the season.
Got to play Origin.
Oh, he should be a front runner for Origin.
Yeah.
I think him and Haas should be the front runners.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, he I think he had over 150, 160 running meters or whatever.
If you play NRL fantasy, he got 102, and now it's hard to crack 100 in fantasy.
Yeah. I think he was on his 28th offload by the time the game was done. He's just a beast, man.
He played, I think, 84 minutes.
Yeah, 84. There was actually something that came out earlier. Benji Marshall revealed that he got cracked by May saying, "Why'd you take me off? What did I do?"
Wow.
He wanted to play the full game.
Yeah.
In terms of the dung, I'm going to have to give it to the Dogs, man. Like, they had so much promise.
Expected more.
Yeah, you expected more from them. Like, yes, Broncos are a good team. They're in form. They're firing. But I would have expected the Dogs to put more up of a fight. Like, it's just, I don't know what happened. They just weren't there.
Yeah.
They only showed up in the second half.
Yeah.
That's it. You need to be able to play the full 80, not your half footy. But yeah, so my dung this week is the Dogs.
Love it, mate. Dynamo for me, Sandon Smith. I've been critical of him this year. I know a lot of people have. Looked like he hadn't had it in his game. You know, a lot of people saying, oh, he's not ready for the task yet. He showed that he's ready for the task in this
100%,
game. And I know it's Anzac Day. It's a big occasion. I really think the Roosters will back it up this week, just my honest opinion. But I think all the talk in the week, like moving Dom Young, dropping Dom Young and moving Marky Mark out to the wing was a godsend. Because he doesn't rush up in defence. He holds his line. He's a former Sevens player, so he knows how to defend.
Yeah.
And the team just looked rejuvenated. They looked like these young guys now have played 8 games. They've learnt. The connections are starting. If these connections go and we can start doing what we did last year, we'll go a long way in the finals. But I've got Sandon Smith as my dynamo for this week. Really well done to young Sandon. My dungs, mate, actually is the Dragons. And mainly because it's Anzac Day.
Yeah.
It's such a big day in the calendar. And we know it's the same game every year. So you know it's coming. You know it's coming. It's Roosters Dragons every year. Last year you lost 60-18. If I was the Dragons, I'd be like, boys, last year they pumped us by 60. We're not letting this fucking team beat us again.
Yeah, that's how every coach should be after you get flogged.
And then they came out and they got flogged again. Like, it baffled me the way that they played. And, you know, a lot of talk's been made on the halves, Lachlan Ilias. The kicking game is not there.
Yeah.
As much as I rate Ilias as a player, I wouldn't say he's one of the greats. Kyle Flanagan, I mean, is he there because his dad's the coach? You know, it's really hard to see. Guffo, who I thought's been one of their best this season, just as we said before, had an off game.
Yeah.
And the forward pack just had no momentum. Couchman's been fantastic this season. Nothing. Jack DeBellin, nothing.
There was no mongrel in them.
No, there was nothing at all. And I think that's what they needed. You saw the Roosters muscled up in defence a couple of times.
Yeah. And
that's what the Dragons needed to do, but couldn't do it. So I'm going to give them my dung this week. I can't keep giving it to the Knights. The Knights fans will think I hate them.
I mean, do you though?
No, I love Newcastle. Got a soft spot, mate. But, mate, let's jump into my favourite segment, the Harry M's. Take us through the Harry M's for round 8.
All right.
We gave the whole list last week.
Yeah, thank you for that, by the way.
That's all right, mate. No problem.
So, my Harry M's for this week, or this round just gone, 3, I've already spoken about him, Terrell May.
Very nice.
I think he's very deserving of it.
Yep.
We don't have to go too much into what his stats were, but yeah, he's my 3 this week. My 2, I was tossing and turning between Sandon Smith and James Tedesco.
Yep.
Ultimately, I went with Tedesco.
Yeah, nice.
He had an absolute cracker of a
They
game
were
as
both
well.
great. Yeah, absolutely.
He's really stepped up, finally scoring I think it was his
He got a
first
double.
try.
Yeah, it was his first. Yeah, his first 2 tries.
First
for the
2 tries
season.
this season. He really stepped up when it mattered,
Yep.
and so he's deserving of the 2. 1, Luke is going to be fuming that he's not here because he would be screaming with excitement. I've gone Lockie Galvin as my 1.
Oh,
I think he played exceptionally well considering what's been happening in the last 2 weeks for them and the club. He made a few crucial tackles in the end stages of the game. He got 2 try assists as well. He just looked like a rejuvenated bloke, like playing Lidcombe last week.
he looked galvanised.
Yeah, nice. He playing Lidcombe last week, then going to a packed out Leichhardt the next. He's just one of the
Man,
best.
a lot of players missed out then. If he's
It
your
was-
one,
It was very, very hard to pick. Very, very hard. But
poor Robert Derby, poor Tom Dearden, Jeremiah Nano.
not gonna lie,
Nah,
actually,
it's all right.
I had Derby as my 1. I was like, oh,
Scored a hat trick and Galvin beats him. Nah, that's all right. Look, I think you're right. With all the media circus that went on, it's a great shout, mate. But Harry M's and no doubles. We love that, of
Yep.
course.
yeah, we're a very long list now.
yes, I love it. You keep the consistency, mate.
Look, players have got to step up, and they'll
Exactly.
get more points.
That's
so
right. Exactly.
if that's not a driving factor, I don't know what is.
Mate, let's jump into. He's been doing it all game, sir. Now, lots to talk about this week. Suspensions, 18 sin bins in this round, and if you are tuning in for the first time, that's a lot. That is a lot. I don't think I've ever seen 18 sin bins in a round. Go through some of them. I don't have the whole list here. We don't have all night. But Satili Tupanua, Josh Curran, Matt Burton, Sandon Smith, Latrell Mitchell,
Scott
Sorensen, Dylan Edwards. He was sin binned, was he?
Yeah, he was
Yes.
sin binned. Paul Alamotti.
Alamotti. Oh, man, there was so many. A couple in the Wars game.
There was a few ridiculous ones this week too.
Yeah, there was some that were pretty wild. Sharks and Tigers. Oh, Pole.
That was not a sin bin.
That one was
whatsoever.
bad. That was bad. Fanua Pole there. Look, there was a lot, and it's just crazy, this crackdown. I don't know where it's come from because I feel for the refs. I really do.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the refs because it's not from them. Like they've been told how to ref.
Yeah.
And they have. Like this has come higher up. So this has come from someone who's gone, we need to crack down on high tackles. But they've got it completely wrong. I think it's time to introduce the 5-minute sin bin that they spoke about a couple of years ago. 5 minutes for little infringements. 10 minutes if it's major.
Yeah.
Send off if it's
like,
obviously past the point. Something they actually said today in the media, I took a photo of it as well. I'll just get it up. But the CFO, Peter V'landys, he said the NRL will reportedly inform the bunker not to go back in play for anything but send-offs.
yeah.
So this going back 8 sets, 10 sets, what's the point?
That happened in the Panthers Manly game too.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 sets later.
What's
the
the point?
The Manly bloke got sin bin for fuck all, really.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that.
But they don't get the penalty. So like they get sin bin, but then the other team doesn't get the penalty anyway.
No, Penrith got that.
Oh, they did at
Yeah,
that point.
Penrith got the penalty. in that
Because
game.
I don't know what game it was. I was watching one where it went back quite a bit, and they went, "Oh, you're not getting the penalty, but he's on report." It's like, okay,
it's-
so what's the point of going back? So I really like that from V'landys, and Abdo came out and said that they got it wrong. Like that wasn't what the crackdown was meant to be for. The crackdown was meant to be for higher tackles, not contact. If you hit someone on the shoulder,
yeah, like
It's-
Fanua Pole's.
if you hit someone on the shoulder, it's not a fucking sin bin. Like common sense will tell you that. And
literally chin up.
yeah, I get
Fair
it.
enough.
I get it. But then I also feel for Latrell because in his case, like Farlongo's falling into that,
Yeah.
and he is falling when Latrell gets him.
Oh, 100%.
So like it's just really hard. Yeah, and then they're not penalising ones like Tupanua with the knees. I think the knees was worse than the one he got sin bin for.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So-
He should have gone to the bin twice that game.
Yeah, like he should have.
Like-
He should have went for the bin for that
and then
instance,
he would
but
have.
not the first one.
I reckon he should have got sent off because
Yeah.
think about it.
Because
I think,
the knees it looked deliberate. Like the
Yeah.
knees looked more deliberate than the first sin bin. So it's just crazy at the moment, this crackdown. And I'm hoping that it doesn't wreck Magic Round, because Magic Round is coming up. It's it's a showcase for our game for rugby
Yeah.
league, and if they're gonna ref like that, they're gonna wreck Magic Round.
Oh, 100%.
Imagine if we get to Origin and we're playing with New South Wales Cup and Queensland Cup players because everyone else is sin binned.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
should-
like you don't have Origin players to pick from because you've sin bin half of them and they're serving 5-week bans. Like
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
the game's just going to become fucking touch footy at this
Like,
point. Like,
yeah, it's Oz tag. Like surely they look at this round and go, that's not going to happen again.
you'd like to think
Surely
so.
it's a one-off, and I think it will be. I'm hoping that Abdo and Volandis. It looks like that they've come out this week and they have said that. I think they said they want to ref Magic Round the way Origin's refed,
Yeah.
which I think's good. Let it flow. Let it flow.
Only stop it if it's something that needs to be
if
stopped.
it's a send off. If it's
Yeah.
a send off, send it. Fair enough. Blowing penalties is fine during the game. Like, offside penalties, whatnot, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. That's fine. 6 agains, whatever. But sin bins don't need to be in the game or introduce the 5-minute.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I'm no expert on rugby league, just been watching it half my life. But
I actually seen something earlier today. I think it was the very first half of the season of last year. There was 18 sin bins,
Yeah.
by the halfway mark.
Yeah.
And then you look at this round just gone. There was 18 in the one round.
Yeah.
Like, surely that's saying something.
it's crazy, man.
It's-
I just don't understand. But look, let's jump into niggling, of course, our injury segment. Not really much to talk about this week. The injuries were pretty good. I don't remember many players going off. Falongo will obviously be a big one.
Yeah.
Probably a HIA. Well, definitely a HIA.
Yeah, I think he's serving his 11-day stand.
Yeah,
I think it was
Well, he'll
cut
have
one.
to. He'll have to because he
Yeah.
didn't come back on. Not many other HIAs. I think most of them came back on pretty unscathed, which was really good.
Yeah.
Good to see Tommy get through the whole game for Manly.
He was struggling a bit towards the end there, though. He was
a
he
bit
was,
of tightness.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like his first game back and he's
Yeah.
like getting warmed back into it, or whether
Certainly
it's
could be, but no, really good to see. But mate, it's now time for the Profits preview. We're going to talk Magic Round 9 coming up. Look, it's always an exciting round of footy.
Yep.
Anything can happen. It's magical. This is where miracles are made. Moments are had. So let's get into it, mate. But look, we kick off Thursday night with an absolute cracker in Magic Round, and our first game is Friday night.
Yeah,
I should
because
say.
Thursday is Women's
Yeah,
Origin.
Women's
Yep.
Origin, that's right. So shout out to actually the New South Wales Blues girls. Go get them. It's going to be great to watch. We'll be
Yep.
definitely watching that. Want to talk on that a little bit?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, sweet.
Why
so
not?
obviously the teams have been named. Lots of great players. Jamie Chapman, Isabel Kelly, the likes, Jessie Surgis. The Southwell girls are in there as well. For New South Wales, Queensland don't really care.
Yeah.
I know Taryn Aiken, Rooster Girl, she's in there for Queensland, and Ali Brigginshaw as well. So some really good names there. Look, it's always great to see the women's game flourishing. Your cousin obviously plays, that we talk about a lot as well. So it's really good to see. New coach, John Strange,
Yep.
now taking over for the New South Wales girls. Obviously, Jasmine Strange and Ethan Strange's dad.
Yep.
Going to be really good to see how he goes. It means the Roosters, though, need a new coach this year for the NRLW.
I'm pretty
I
sure, yeah.
I don't think he can do both. Well, I don't know if it's the same as men,
Yeah.
but the men's can't do both. Maybe the women's can. But should be a great game. Thursday night, just going to be wonderful there. So definitely, if you're tuning in, tune into that. I'm going Blues to win that. I'll say 16-12, I reckon, a tight one. What do you
Yeah,
reckon?
I'm going Blues. I reckon 18-10.
And if we're chucking any time try scorer on, I've got to throw Isabel Kelly, Jessie Surgis in there as well.
I've got a roughie,
and-
Kennedy Sherrington.
Oh, I like it. She's starting or off the bench?
I believe she's starting.
Starting second row, I would say Kennedy.
Yeah.
I don't mind Abby Church as well at fullback.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
There might be a special Triple H for Women's Origin this week
Ooh,
too, by the
we
way.
love
so,
it. We love it.
So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. But let's jump into Magic Round Friday night. Sharks v Eels. All games at Suncorp, of course, if you are tuning in for the first time. Don't know much about Magic Round. All 8 games are played on Suncorp Stadium, so you don't want to be playing Sunday at 6 p.m. because the ground is torn up.
I'm pretty sure Panthers are playing the second last game on Sundays.
Probably. So how good? I think they're playing Saturday night, aren't they? 7:45 against Bronx.
I could be wrong.
I believe. No, I'm wrong. Sorry.
4:05 on Sunday.
4:05 Sunday. So yeah, second last game.
Shit.
But yeah, Sharks versus Eels, mate. Gonna be a cracker game there. Eels off a bye, had a really good win the week before against the Tigers. Mitch Moses back for them.
Yeah.
can they get another win, or are you going Sharks?
I'm going Sharks to bounce back. I think, don't get me wrong, Sharks played good
Yeah.
against the Tigers last week. They made a few uncharacteristic errors. Like I've been saying that a lot. I should make that a catchphrase of my own. But I think Sharks are going to be looking to bounce back. Starting, like kicking off Magic Round 2, you're going to want to put on a show. I've got Sharks by 10.
Very
And
nice.
I'm also thinking that Nico Hines gets over for a pie.
Oh, I like it. I like it very much. Mate, I'm going Sharks as well. Can't back the Eels at the moment. I backed them against the Tigers 2 weeks ago. Great win, but I'll back the Sharks, as you said, to bounce back in this one. Look, if I'm going try scorers, I'll say Sharks by 4. I think it'll be tight.
Yeah.
Sharks by 1 try. And if I'm going try scorers, I'm going to go Stone Street for a double. And I'm going to throw Kennedy in there as well because he's been in a bit of a try scoring form at the moment.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you our sponsors.
Have you ever wanted a snack but nothing seems to fill you up? Well, try Gibson Country Style Jerky today. With a variety of flavours, including teriyaki, honey soy and garlic, and pepper steak. Gibson's is the best jerky to satisfy those snack cravings. And now, if you use the code PODCAST, you'll get 10% off. Check them out on social media today or go to gibsoncountrystylejerky.com.au. Need to trim those hedges? Need to cut that grass but unsure how? Well, visit Koala Mowers today for all your lawn care needs. From mowers to whippersnippers and blowers too, Koala Mowers has you covered from the front yard to the back. Check them out on social media today or head over to Corrine Avenue and view their wide range in store. Koala Mowers, making lawn care easy without the hassle of having the correct qualifications.
Thank you once again to our sponsors.
So Roosters Dolphins 8:05, going to be a great game Friday night, mate. Who you got?
See, this is one of the games where I'm very 50-50 on it.
Yep.
At this current stage, I'm probably going to change it, but I've gone the Dolphins. I've gone the Finns to bounce back. I mean, mind you, like I said, I'll probably change it by Wednesday or Thursday. I think the Dolphins will want to come out with a point to prove. Like they were riding the high of flogging the Storm the week prior.
Yeah.
Then last week they fell asleep against the Raiders. I think they'll want to make a statement that they're not just a one-hit wonder team. I have it in a close one.
Yep.
I have Dolphins by 2.
Nice.
And I'm going to put Jermaine Asako and Teddy both as try scorers.
Yeah, very good. Chooks for me. I think they bounce back. Yeah, I think they win 2 in a row, which we haven't done all season. Every time we get a win, we usually lose the week after. But as I said, last week looked a lot better. I know it was Anzac Day, but I really think this is the start for us. I think having Mark Nwanga on the wing is what we needed. All the boys are starting to find form. No injuries from that game, which is great. So we got a full squad. I also think they have that point to prove. They want to win 2 in a row.
Yeah.
They haven't done that yet. Heading into the bye round 10 as well. So we really want to get this win. 3 wins will be great for our season as well. And then, we get Sammy Walker back in a couple of weeks. So
Yeah.
perfect. But I'll go Roosters. Look, I'm going to double up. Roosters 13 plus again.
Jesus.
I'll go big, mate. I'll go Teddy for a double, Rob Toya for 1. And just because I love saying his name so much, Mark Nwanga to get over the stripe again. It's just so much fun to say. So, and every time I back him, he scores. So it's really good. Mate, let's jump into our next game. Saturday, 3 p.m, Rabbitohs versus Knights. It's going to be a good game.
Yep.
Who you got?
The way that the Knights have been playing, I've got Bunnies 13 plus.
Yeah, wow.
Like, Bunnies have been looking good in patches, whereas Knights, they just, I don't know what's going on with them. Like you were saying before, I think they're relying too much on Ponga.
Yep.
And Ponga, like you said, is not firing right now. So I think that's going to come back to bite them. So it's South 13 plus. I'm assuming Jai Gray is going to go back to fullback.
Yeah, with no Latrell, you would think so.
I reckon Jai Gray for a double and Kaloa Matangi.
Very nice. Great shout. Mate, I'm back in Knights.
Really?
I'm back in Knights. They've lost 4 in a row. I think Adam O'Brien knows he's under pressure. I think they enjoy one last holiday. Adam O'Brien enjoys one last holiday.
Yeah.
Queensland.
Yep.
They get the win, saves himself a week,
And
then they lose the following week, and then he's gone. So I'm going to back the Knights in a tight one, 1-12. I'll go Knights by one try, 4.
Yep.
Mate, I'll back Ponga to get over. I'll back Ponga to get over the stripe. James Schiller, and also I'm going to back Jackie White in. He scored double last week. Looked really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to back him in for a try as well. But that's my upset this week. The Knights, I think they can get it done. Let's jump into our next game. The Wars against the Cowboys. It's going to be a great game here. Cowboys moved into favourites now at $1.82. Warriors $2. Mate, you on the Warriors?
Of course, mate. Up the Wars. I'm not, like I said, I'm not making the mistake of not tipping the Wars and then they win again. So I got Wars 1-12.
Yep.
And Nickel Clockstad, Nanai, and Robert Derby all to get over.
I like it. I'm going Cowboys. I think the way they're playing is great. Warriors have been great at home. Be interesting to see how they play. It's a home game, but it's at Suncorp.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they play there. Cowboys probably more acclimatized to the Queensland weather, being a Queensland team.
Yeah.
I'll back the Cowboys 1-12 in this. Cowboys by 10 points. And I'm gonna go Tommy Dearden for a try, and also Jackson Purgeau, just because I love him. He's such a good player at the moment. Mate, let's jump into Tigers versus Dragons. Almost game of the round. This is going to be an absolute belter of a game.
Yep.
Tigers off the back of a win. Dragons off the back of a massive loss will be hungry. Who you got?
I'm going Tigers. I'm going to Tigers.
Wow.
I'm assuming the Tigers are going to keep Galvin in 6.
You would think so after winning. They have to.
So with that being said, I got Tigers 1-12. I'm going Lockie Galvin actually score.
Oh, nice.
Lockie Galvin and Taruva for a double.
Wow. Well, look, mate, I don't like agreeing with you. The most inconsistent team in the comp, the Dragons, I'm backing them to win. They won 2. They lost last week, so they'll win this week. That's how their season goes. I'm backing Dragons in this one. I'm going to go Guffo to get over the stripe, Valentine Holmes to score, and Sanuya Taruva to score as well in this game. But let's jump into some Sunday Arvo footy. The Titans, the Tits against the Bits. Titans versus Bulldogs in this game. Going to be an absolute clanger, this one. But, mate, Titans at $4.10. Pretty juicy odds. Bulldogs out to $1.24, but they'll have a few outs. Who you got?
With them still having a few out, I'm going to back the Dogs to bounce back. Well, I think, considering, I'm pretty sure the Titans are at the 8 anyway, so they always perform well against teams outside the 8.
Yeah.
I reckon Doggies to make a big statement.
Yeah.
Doggies 13+. In terms of try scorers, I'm backing Critter.
Very nice.
And Max King. I'm backing King
for his second try.
I'm backing King for his
this
second
season,
try.
Wow. Didn't score for 80 odd games and then gets 2 and 2 in 3 weeks.
Yep. Yep. You heard it here first.
I love it. Mate, I'm going Dogs as well. 13+. You can't go past them. The way they're playing, it doesn't matter who they got. Even when Burton was out for a couple of games, Haywood really stood up and played well. So I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. I like your thought pattern. I'm going to go Josh Curran for a try. Titans, I'm actually going to go Big Tino to score as well.
Yep.
And if Dave Fafita's back, Dave Fafita for a try. Whether he's off the bench or starting, he'll score either way.
Yep.
Mate, let's jump into, of course, your boys, 405. Panthers v Broncos. Now, this is going to be a great game as well. Panthers, you guys are desperate for a win. Broncos coming off a massive performance. Who takes the chocolates in this game?
I'm going to get killed for this. I'm taking this tip with next to no confidence. I'm backing my boys to get the win by a field goal. It's hard. It's hard. Like the way that the Broncos have been playing compared to how we've been playing.
Yep.
All the money is on Broncos to win, but still you can't go against your own team whether you have little to no confidence with them. Of course. In terms of try scorers, Jesse Arthurs to keep his try scoring run up, and I've also got Talagi.
Oh, very nice.
I've got Talagi to go in again. 3 tries. Well, he's going for 3 tries in 3 games, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. A great consecutive record.
Yep.
Mate, this is a toss of a coin for me. This one's a hard one to pick. As much as I want to jump on the Broncos, it's so hard this year to tip Penrith. But then every time I tip against them, like they do the opposite. So, I tipped them against Manly. They lost. I tipped them against Cowboys. They lost. I tipped them against Dolphins. It's just so hard to pick, isn't it? I mean, you just don't know what way it's going to go. I'm leaning towards Broncos just because I don't know what's going on with Penrith at the moment. But I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm not going to be mad if you tip the Broncos, man.
Well, I want to tip Penrith because I don't know what happened last week. I feel like Penrith is still there. I do. I really do. I'll back the Broncos. If Cobbo's at fullback, I'll back the Broncos to get it done by 2 in this one. Cobbo to score, Katoni Staggs to score. I like Nathan Cleary for a try as well to go over himself. And our last game, Storm versus Raiders, going to be a great game. The form the Raiders are in, this could be a danger game for Melbourne. I know they won last week, but lost the week before that against the Dolphins. Who you got?
Like you were saying in the last game, it's a flip of the coin. I am going to take Storm at this current stage. Again, decided by a field goal. Because I think both Melbourne's attack have been great.
Yep.
Same as Raiders. Their attack has been great.
Yeah, for sure.
Defensively wise, I think Raiders just edge them out. So in that case, I am staying with Melbourne by a field goal. In terms of try scorers, I'm not backing Hudson Young again.
He'll score this week.
I'm going to go Matty Nicholson.
Oh, very nice.
And Paps.
You watch Nicholson get none and Hudson get 2.
Yeah.
I love it. Mate, I'm going Melbourne as well. Hard to go past them at the moment. I'll go Melbourne 1-12 in this. Melbourne by 8 points. Try scorers is a tough one. I really like the Raiders. I've gone their big boppers for a couple of weeks just because they're always good for a try. But I'm going to get Ethan Strange for 3 tries in 3 games as well. He scored 2 weeks in a row.
Yep.
He's looked really good. And I'm going to back Pappenhausen's always good for a try. Pappenhausen, Coates, and let's throw Jerome Hughes in there as well.
Ooh.
Can always get over the stripe. Finds it very well. But they are our tips for round 9 for Magic Round. If you're going to it, enjoy. It's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. Send us some pictures and videos.
I'm pretty sure Luke is actually going to Magic Round.
Luke's going to Magic Round.
Yeah,
Wow.
Luke and the family are going to Magic Round.
Very nice.
So
great for them to invite the Ruck, on Luke's on family money, mate. No, we love it. We'll be there one year. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll be there one year.
Hopefully he does a video for us from Magic Round.
I have a feeling he might.
Hopefully he does. A couple of beers.
It might take some convincing, but I think he'll do it.
A couple of beers, we can make him do anything, mate. So.
All right, let's not go with anything. That just
he doesn't listen anyway. You can say what you want. It's fine. But yeah, it should be really good. Of course, if you are following our tips, don't, because we're not experts.
We are terrible
by any fair stretch. I mean, I got 6 from 8 last week, so not a bad week of tipping.
I got 5.
It's still not bad. It's still a pass mark.
Yeah.
Got over a pass, so
only
I love
just,
it.
Only just.
But let's jump into our next part of the podcast, mate. The Lucky Ruckies now. Congrats to Brett Dewberry. He had a really funny rugby league story. Should I read it? It's about Dongle.
Yeah, go for it.
He's not here, but
go for it.
All right, beautiful. Well, let me just quickly get it up. But fantastic story about the Dongle. And if he's listening, he's probably going to crack up at hearing this story. But shout out to Brett as well for actually doing what we asked and sending a message. It was really good because no one's really been sending in anything. But he pretty much said, "G'day, legends. I was best man for a bloke on your podcast, and in my speech, I kept things to myself. This one should be shared, though.
Oh, God.
A bunch of us went to watch the Sharks spank the Panthers in the Riff. We were sat in the section next to the Panthers members. With a few drinks under his belt, Dongle started stirring up the Panthers members. This bloke wasn't getting bites. He was living rent-free in a few of their heads. The game ends and Dongle asked me to hold his beer. I thought he'd gone for a piss. Look out to the field and here's this Shark supporter doing a drunken run across the field, shakes Gallen's hand, gives Louis a massive spray and runs back to the sideline. Security collared him, climbing back over. Cops take his details, pissing himself laughing. We all wondered what he was laughing at. Dongle informs us he handed his license over but gave them his brother's phone number thinking that would throw them off. A couple of weeks later, Louis signed with the Sharks. What a story.
Oh, my God.
Knowing the Dongle as well as we do now, I am not surprised.
Yeah.
One little bit. Shout out to Dongle and, of course, Brett Dewberry for that awesome story. Mate, for that great story, you have won yourself a Ruck infringement bottle opener, so that'll be sent to you. So thank you for getting involved. If you want to get involved in Lucky Ruckies, inbox us or DM us. Your funniest rugby league story can happen to you, a friend. It can be something you've seen on the field. And you go, and you have a chance to win either a Ruck infringement bottle opener or some mugs are getting made up as well. So your choice there. But thank you again for that. That is a fantastic story of the Dongle and how embarrassing. Mate, it's time for some talking points. Now, we've spoken on the Simbin crackdown, so I think I think
we should avoid that because
yes, I'm
going to start going
don't
off
get
again.
too angry. I think we said what we needed to say. I think people just need to go easy on the refs, though, because you got to remember it's not the refs making these calls. I know a lot of the refs personally, and some that I text being on the podcast and stuff. And I know some of them, a lot of them have common sense, and a lot of them have said, it's out of our hands. You think about your workplace, right? If you're told to do something from your boss, you do it or you get fired.
Yeah.
So, for them, it's their job, and they don't want to lose their job. And I get that. I completely understand. But the referee's boss or whoever's making these calls, whether it's Volandis or Abdo, whoever it is, needs to be kept accountable. They need to be taken aside and being like, mate, this round didn't work. And you could see that. And you need to make a change. So, look, I think that's enough of the sin bin stuff. Going to be interesting to see what happens Magic Round. I hope it's not ruined. Let's hope for a great week of footy, one that flows and isn't ruined by all the sin bins.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you our sponsors.
League Lids are an international company selling retro corduroy sports hats to make you the envy of all your friends. Head over to League Lids and check out their array of hats today and use our discount code RUCK10 for 10% off. Wanting to go to a game but having nothing to show of your favourite player? Well, now with Sports Heads, you can bring your favourite player alongside with you. With an array of core flute cutouts, Sports Heads have all your favourite players from every team covered. Custom designs are also available. Visit Sports Heads on their socials or at their website today and use the code RUCK10 for 10% off now.
Thank you once again to our sponsors.
But the other talking point, mate, I had Anzac week. Now, fantastic week on the rugby league calendar. Thought it was done really well this year. It was great to see the Warriors finally get to host an Anzac Day. Being Anzac, Australian New Zealand Army Corps.
Yeah, you'd think they'd be hosting it more often.
But they always played Melbourne in Anzac Day. So really good to see New Zealand, and the atmosphere was great. Fantastic atmosphere.
One of the best atmospheres in the world.
It was fantastic. And I love seeing 3 games now.
Yeah.
3 games on Anzac Day was great because my night was gone. Like from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m, I was watching footy.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
One of the best things to do.
It was great. You go play some 2-up and then you go watch the footy. So Roosters Dragons, absolute spectacle again, sold out at Allianz. So great work there to both those clubs. And Storm Rabbits, another great spectacle in Melbourne. That's always a strong showing at Amy Park as well. So I thought Anzac Week was done really well. So big shout out to the NRL for an amazing week of rugby league. Love some of the jerseys. Really liked the Knights jersey.
Yeah.
The green and the brown and the white.
Good.
Too bad they couldn't play.
Yeah, they couldn't play.
How good their jersey was.
Yeah.
A couple of great Anzac jerseys. Of course, the Roosters donning the Bondi blue. Your boys with like an orange sun.
Yeah, that one looked really nice.
Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Even Melbourne's one didn't look too bad.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed the Raiders. I thought theirs was good, the little army print. So, look, really good to see. Teams did really well. Dragons probably step it up a little bit. They just had a poppy on the bottom. They still had the red V. Didn't really do much to the jersey. So, step up, up your game for Anzac Day. It's a special day.
Yeah.
Mate, acknowledgement to country. Scrapped before the Storm versus Bunnies game. Pretty controversial.
Yep.
Obviously, we're not going to go into racism and all that on this podcast. We're not qualified to do that. In my personal opinion, and this is just opinion, and I may get crucified for this, I didn't think it was needed for Anzac Week, and the only reason I say that is because we're already doing the national anthem for Anzac Week.
Yeah,
and let's just do that. Like, the game becomes too long. You're doing an acknowledgement to country, then you're doing the national anthem, then the players are finally getting out on the field. In the Roosters Dragons game, they've also got the helicopter that comes and delivers the trophy. Like, it becomes a long game. Like, let's just do the national anthem, the team sing it, get on with the game.
I'm on the fence. I think the acknowledgement of country still needs to be done, purely because they are playing on,
of course,
on their land,
and there are a lot of Indigenous players in the teams as well, and in rugby league.
I think it should still go ahead, regardless of what other people think.
Yeah,
because you want to have that representation of the Indigenous culture, considering majority of the teams, like you just said, have Indigenous players in them.
It was interesting that. Was it Melbourne's decision to scrap it, or was it an NRL decision?
I'm not too sure.
Because it would be interesting to find that out, because obviously Melbourne were playing the Rabbitohs, who have very high Indigenous, Latrell, Cody Walker, Jack White. A very high Indigenous team.
If I was those three, I would feel I'd feel disrespected in a sense.
Of course. And, again, we're probably not the right people to talk about this on this sort of platform. I just thought we'd bring it up because obviously it was a big talking point of the week. But, whatever your views are, we're always open to all opinions. But just remember that opinions are like armpits. Everyone has them. Most of them stink. So, that's just how it is. But let's jump into something a bit more lighthearted now. Tigers win with Galvin back. I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to happen.
I'm so glad I didn't change my tip last minute.
As soon as they named him, I went, Tigers are going to win this game. And it just shows that, rugby league needs to be above what's happening off the field. And just play rugby league, just play footy. Because you've seen what's happened at Manly. Like, DCE, when all this stuff came out, he came out and said, everything's fine. Like, the camaraderie still there. It's not. It's not.
You can tell there's like a bit of an unease.
Manly lost 3 games in a row after that.
Yeah, you can tell there's a bit it's a bit uneasy at Manly, but they still are willing to band up together, play their footy, try and win for their fans and their club, trying to further themselves, trying to get that premiership.
Absolutely, and credit to the Tigers because everybody in the post match conference, like they all spoke highly about Galvin.
Yeah.
He was great today, footy's footy, and I really like that. They said, it's been a tough couple of weeks. I hope now that Galvin's come back, played, I hope he doesn't take it legal. I hope he doesn't sue the club because I think we're all past it now. We're all past it. Okay, he tried himself at open market. The club's not keeping him. Move on.
Yeah.
Like let's play rugby league. Let's watch the Tigers win some games, get in the top 8. Like, let's leave the Galvin saga behind. And let's just play footy. That's my opinion.
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, you keep the stuff that's meant to be off the field.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't try and drag other people into it. Just play your footy.
Absolutely, mate. Now, the big one. WA win the bid, and the Bears are back.
Yep.
Very exciting. For our younger listeners or viewers, probably don't know much about the Bears. Looking at my videographer too, you probably don't know much about the Bears. But the North Sydney Bears were a staple team in rugby league, a foundation club from 1908. They left the comp. I just think it was money, wasn't it? They weren't viable.
I think
there was a bit of stuff there with Manly. I think they were meant to join the Northern Eagles at the time. Based on the Central Coast, that's where they were going to be. Central Coast Bears. Shout out to all my coastie friends and my family. Obviously grew up there, but we got a stadium that doesn't get used. But now the Bears are back. It's not a merger club, so a lot of people saying, it's a different team. It's not. It's still the Bears. They're just relocating.
Yeah.
So going to WA now, the thing I want to ask you, what are they going to be called? Because they've said that they're not going to be called the Western Bears. So I think it's either between WA Bears, Perth Bears, or West Coast Bears. What do you reckon?
I think they'll have to go WA Bears. Like, I mean, you could go WA or you could go West Coast. Like, it's out of those two.
I like Perth Bears.
Perth Bears is not a bad shout.
It's just got a good ring to it.
Yeah.
We're playing the Perth Bears. It's still better than the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They don't even have a spot. The Dolphins.
Yeah.
So I like Perth Bears, WA Bears. It's not bad. I mean, West Coast falls into AFL territory for me, though.
Yeah,
That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see the Bears back and to see if they can be viable in WA. I heard Matty Johns talking on the Sunday night show last night, and he was saying that a lot of the players who played for WA, because Mark Guy played for the Western Reds over the Super League period, they said it was hard to travel because it was so far.
Yeah.
But they said it was such a great place to play. So nice. Area so nice. Area so lovely in Perth, in WA. So, look, it's going to be great. It's going to be really good to see. Optus Stadium is massive.
Yeah.
They had a doubleheader there recently, a couple of weeks ago.
I'm pretty sure we're using it for Origin as well, for game 2.
Which would be great. So we know it's viable. I think the NRL now have the funds to make Western Australia a rugby league town, like what they did with Melbourne.
Yeah.
So if they can do that and the Bears are back, baby, then the Bears are back. I'm so excited.
My question to you is, if they were to sign a marquee player, who do you think that marquee player would be that they build the team around?
Well, it's hard, isn't it? Because the Dolphins tried to do that. They tried to get the Munsters and Pongers, and they ended up with Hammer. Hammer was probably their marquee. But at that stage, he wasn't, because he was at the Cowboys. He wasn't that marquee at the time.
Yeah.
Interesting, like marquee, like you got Ponga coming off contract. Personally, I think he's going to the Chooks, but there's a lot of talk about that. That's growing in speed at the moment, and I think I'm on the money there. But I don't know, marquee signing, because you probably want to start off with a half. You want to either base yourself around a half or a middle forward.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing like a Payne Haas
That's
going to WA.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
I seen something
Like
earlier.
you could build a club around Payne Haas.
I could probably get murdered for this, but I'm pretty sure I seen something about like Harry Grant. Harry Grant going there.
Yeah, wow.
There was actually I can't remember who was in it, but there was a predicted lineup from 2027. Like that's when most of the players are off their contract.
A lot of off contract ones, yeah. Tyron Wishart be a good shout.
Yep, he could.
He could be a number 7 in any club.
Oh, 100%.
But he's stuck behind obviously Hughes and Munster. Selwyn Cobbo, he's off contract very soon. He'd be a good shout as well. Interesting about Cobbo because he played really well at fullback.
Yeah,
better than how Walsh has been playing. Could we potentially see Cobbo stay, Walsh go?
Didn't they just re-sign Walsh not that long
Did
ago?
they?
I'm pretty sure they re-signed him.
They haven't re-signed Cobbo, so Cobbo maybe.
I'm pretty sure they re-signed Walsh either at the start of this year or last.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting who they get.
But then again, a thing that I was talking with my dad about, the way if Cobbo for the next 5 weeks absolutely smashes it at fullback,
Yep.
and then Walsh comes back in,
He can't play fullback.
what do? Do you throw like, and especially you have a look at
Hunt to 9, Walsh to 6.
yeah, but then you also have to look at Ezra Mam coming back into the fold too.
Oh, Man ain't starting. Man will be 14
yeah, so
or
then,
18,
so then
24.
What happens then? Like you're not going to throw an informed Cobbo back onto the wing.
But they can't all stay either, can they? Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, the Broncos are not going to be able to keep all these players. But just back on the WA Bears, the coach is an interesting one because Brad Arthur's been rumoured to be taking over the job, but he hasn't signed yet. And I think it's because he's waiting for the Knights gig. I think he's waiting to see what's going to happen with Adam O'Brien, who, personally, I told you before, I think they get 1 win this week. Then I think they lose round 10, and then I think that'll be it. I don't think there's many games left, but it does worry me because during the week I heard that if they want him to go before 2027, they have to pay him out $2 million.
Yeah, so
which is a lot of money. I mean, are you going to do that?
I don't think they let him go this season. Like especially now that you just said that they have to pay him out like
I
$2
just
million.
think they got to, man. They got to change. Like the Knights have to change something.
I think they need to bring Jackson Hastings into the halves.
100%. 100%.
They need to bring him into the halves.
I know the players aren't high on him because, he said a few things. It's the Galvin situation all over again.
Yeah.
You play the best player. And if he's the best half at the club, you play him.
Yeah, it just makes
Gamble
sense.
wasn't even on the plane when they went to New Zealand.
Yeah. He was a late.
And neither was Hastings.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and like, we know Coggan won a comp. Like, I get that. But at the moment, he's not the best half at the club.
Yeah.
Jackson Hastings is the best half. He's the most experienced half. They just got to get in there. Newcastle just needs something at the moment, and that's not it.
They need someone supporting Ponga.
Mm.
Ponga can't do it on his own.
Yeah, I really think AOB's under a lot of pressure.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
I did have Todd Payton, but I think he's okay now.
Yeah.
With the other cows going. The other coach, mate, Desi Hasler. Now, Titans just not looking good. I mean, we know Desi Hasler's resume.
Yeah.
And what he brings to a team, and it's pretty amazing. But I just think that for some reason he hasn't been able to recruit well at the Gold Coast. And they never have, like, apart from their first years where they started with the likes of Scotty Prince, Luke Bailey, Matt Rogers, Greg Bird, where they had the names, but now they don't. Like, now, they got Tino and David Fafita, but they don't really have that marquee player, that spark.
Do you throw Desi Hasler towards the Bears job?
Man, that's not a bad shout.
Like, if he gets sacked by the Titans.
Because who else is there at the moment, coach-wise? Like, I mean, of current coaches, probably no one's going.
Yeah.
Coaches on the wings, you still got Holbrook, I guess. I think he's an assistant over at the Chooks at the moment.
Yeah.
Nathan Brown's always looking. Trent Barrett's always looking for a gig.
Yeah, we all know that Barrett loves a
wouldn't
job.
Wouldn't mind Barrett being there. He finds his way to any club. The Johns brothers will probably be talked about again.
Yeah.
They always are. Wouldn't mind seeing Matty Johns take a coaching gig. It'd be great to see. But, mate, really interesting. Great to see the Bears back. And the only other one I had, should Origin eligibility be changed to allow Pacific Islanders to play? I think it should.
Yeah.
I think if they're playing in a New South Wales comp or a Queensland comp, just let them play. Like, I don't see the harm in it. I really don't.
Like, yeah, I get the whole concept of it being your state of origin, but
yeah, I don't.
But then
Origin is the best of the best.
yeah, you're missing out on a whole good quality lot of players.
Especially England.
Oh,
those,
yeah, 100%.
Those players that pick their allegiance to England, why can they not play for New South Wales, but players like Jerome Luai or Crichton who play for Samoa can?
Yeah,
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
it would be very good to see if, like especially Kiwi-wise, you see the likes of Fisher Harris,
yeah.
Moses Leota,
Yeah, exactly.
when he's fit, Brandon Smith, like
Yep.
all those good Kiwi players that we have that can't play Origin due to
Imagine if Benji Marshall had been rocking a sky blue jersey back in the day.
man, that would change.
You know, 100%.
That would change a lot of Origin
100%.
results in the past. So
yeah, look, I think we're both on yes there. That's it for our talking points. Look, spoke a bit about the coaches before. Mate, whispers around the ground. Dom Young returning to Newcastle. Chooks are done with him.
yeah,
I believe this is the mail that I'm hearing. I've got pretty good sources at the Chooks. I think he's played almost his last game. Newcastle are happy to take him back, and the Roosters are happy to let him go. I think Mark Nwangani-Tawaze has really stood up. He's playing good footy on that wing. I think we might make a play at Selwyn Cobbo as well if he does come off contract. Another great option there. Coaches, Adam O'Brien, Desi Hazler under the most pressure. I think that's really it for this week. We won't do Joey's Jumble because it's just you.
yeah.
So you'll
I'll still get the questions wrong.
You'll get all 3 points. Yeah, that's it. You probably won't get any. But we got a couple of your questions before we finish up. So just go into those. Shout out to everyone that put their questions through. The first one now is a weird question. It's from my mate Dean Liddell. Obviously, he was at our 100th episode.
Yep.
Shark supporter. Who should coach the Panthers for the rest of the season, given their beautiful season so far? It's a silly question. Ivan's going to say the coach. Panthers ain't losing Ivan as a coach, even if they come last. Even if you guys get the spoon this year,
look,
Ivan's the coach.
like everyone, you can't write him off.
Nah.
Considering what he's done for the club,
And he's staring at us
and
as well.
that too, like I wouldn't want to fire that. Like, look at that, Jesus, he's just staring right into my soul. But yeah, he hasn't had the greatest start this season. But then you look at what he's done the last 5-6 years, taking us to the point where we've been in the last 5 grand finals, winning 4 of them.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you can't write off a manager just off one bad season.
Ivan's the coach. Sorry, Dean. The other one was from a good mate, Nathan Brown. He wrote Simbin 13 from the weekend. I think the final was 18 Brownie. Yeah, look, we spoke about it, mate. It's an absolute farce. And he wrote, also knee to the head in multiple games, no 10 in the bin. And that's what we said about Tupanua. Like, it's just crazy how something like that happens, but they're so concerned about high tackles that they're not paying attention to the other tackles. It's just ridiculous. But thank you for sending those questions in. Don't forget, when the post does drop, you can get your questions in for listener questions, or also using SpeakPipe and send through some voice questions as well. But that's all we got time for on the Ruck Infringement podcast tonight. Thank you for tuning in to episode 107 in the bin. Of course, don't forget to follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and you can listen at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube as well. Go give us a like, a follow, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out all our great sponsors. We'd like to thank them: Gibson's Country Style Jerky, League Lids, At Print, Koala Mowers, Stay Fancy Eyewear, and Sports Heads AU. Thank you as well for tuning in. That's Harry. I'm Joey. Be good.